Impeachment probe dropped. That's Democrats in the New York State Assembly figured that since he was going to resign, there's no reason to go ahead and get an impeachment investigation, even trial going, even after the fact. Even though Democrats were perfectly okay with that when it concerned Donald Trump in the waning days and post days of his administration. Be that as it may, no probe for the time being. Democratic Assemblyman Ron Kim is not too keen on all of that. Assemblyman, good to have you back. What did you think of what your colleagues did? Let it go. Let's move on.
Well, I'm very disappointed, along with my other colleagues in the Assembly, that this was dropped abruptly and they're hiding behind their legal defense and the state constitution that they're not allowed to move forward once he's removed from office. So we consulted our own independent legal advice from a professor from Cornell University and countered that their legal assessment to make it clear that we have a mandate and we have the right to pursue impeachment during this process.
You know, technically, this would allow the governor, who is so predisposed, we don't know that, and it would be an uphill battle to run again for office. If he does, how do you feel about that?
Well, that's precisely our point. The intention behind impeachment is to remove and ban an unfit official from seeking public office again. Now, the removal itself, as the Assembly defines it, doesn't mean just the literal and physical removal of Andrew Cuomo, the man. It means disqualification and condemnation of every criminality that you and I have spoken about that he has done and stood for to protect the integrity of the state government and the people that we swore to protect. That is our mandate.
Let me ask you, Assemblyman, the governor did an interview with New York Magazine in which he said, I'm not disappearing. I have a voice. I have a perspective, and that is not going to change. And the details aren't really important to me, to tell you the truth. You know, I'm a New Yorker. I've lived here. I've lived in Queens. I've lived in the city. I've lived everywhere. I came to Washington. So I don't really care about any of that. I'll figure it out. And I think, in this case, talking about his resignation, did the right thing. But what's interesting is that he's not disappearing. What did you make of that?
Well, we expected as much. He will go on his sympathy tour, trying to position himself as the ultimate victim, while going after the accused survivors, the victims of nursing homes, and demonizing them every step of the way. That is his style, and he will try to make a comeback. That is why we have to finish
but what's
the
interesting,
job
though,
and hold him accountable.
What's interesting, your investigation, if you had your way, would have gone way beyond these 11 women with their accusations. One, in fact, who's since filed a criminal complaint. It was looking into his handling of the nursing home crisis and the needless deaths there, as well as who helped him and when regarding his book and the payments for that book. All of that goes away, and all of the examination into those issues go away, right?
The Assembly's investigation, as the Speaker had pointed out yesterday, uncovered the truth behind the nursing home book deal as well as the nursing home deaths. There's evidence that implies that he did something terribly wrong, and it is our duty, because this investigation, don't forget, I didn't pay for it. You pay for it. The taxpayers pay for it. We have to turn it over to you, the media, and the public, so everyone has access to what we found.
Makes you wonder whether there was a deal. Was there a deal?
I know the Speaker personally. He said it multiple times that there was no deal. He has not communicated with the governor since the budget on any of this, and I believe him. What I do believe also is that the Speaker, he's under a tremendous amount of pressure. He's the first Speaker of the same party in the history of New York to file for impeachment investigation, and the historical pressure is tremendous. I don't know. I can't imagine what he is actually going through right now. But I do personally want to advise him every time I get that there's an opportunity here to do the right thing, to transform Albany, not just for one party, but for everybody, to get this right moving forward.
You know, you were dealing with that pressure and worse, Assemblyman, so there are ways to respond to that pressure, to buckle under or to fight it. Assemblyman, thank you very, very much. Good seeing you.
Thank you, Neil.